Welcome back to another exciting episode of Doing Business. Doing Business is sponsored and powered by Payforce by Fairmoney. And Payforce by Fairmoney is Nigeria's leading merchant payment solution. Our mission is to help merchants make more money. And if you want to know more, you can find us on that payforce.network. So in our previous episode, we were speaking to a very inspiring entrepreneur, the MD of Nuts About Cakes.
They have asked for a couple. The last time I think I saw a burger.
Burger cake.
Yeah, it was, and it turned out really well.
Today we are switching industry and we're going into an industry I love, which is the fitness industry. And we'll be speaking to the CEO and MD of IAmFit, Mr. Lanre. So that's how you started. So, with that in mind, you wanted to create a center for women to stay fit. Was that the idea, or how did you?
Oh, not just women, everybody. But we kind of intentionally look at the people, the ones with the harder barriers to getting into fitness.
I'm very excited about the conversation. I'm a fitness fanatic. I love to work out and I love the gyms. My main objective here is to understand more about the fitness industry in Nigeria and also learn more about you, learn more about the gym, discuss fitness and well-being overall as a topic. Hi, Lanre.
How's it going?
Very well, thank you.
Good.
So maybe let's start, just help our listeners to understand a bit more about you. Who are you? Where are you from? And how did you get into the fitness industry?
My name is Lanre. I'm a fitness enthusiast. I'm a member of Canada Fitness Professions. I own IAmFit. I am also a business entrepreneur and all that fun stuff. How did I get into fitness? I've been passionate about fitness all my life. I'm one of those kids that really preferred PHE to maths. I wasn't passionate about everything else as much as I was about anatomy, biology, and physical health. I was always playful. I was always I was always active. So I tried out for volleyball, basketball, physics. I liked being outdoors and just playing around. It was easier than, it wasn't like I didn't like to read, but it was more exciting.
Movement.
It was just more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Movement. Yeah, I guess.
Got it. And so where are you from, and tell us, how did you venture into the fitness industry? Because I'm sure, it's not a sort of the typical path to open a gym. So how did you get there?
I'm from Lagos, Nigeria, Ekpe. I've been active all my life, but the conscious decision to actually move into fitness kind of started about 6-7 years ago. I have a master's in logistics and supply chain. I was very excited to actually start working and all that fun stuff. In the summer where I finished my master's degree, I hurt my knee. I was playing soccer. So I tore my ACL. I thought it was a mild injury. It turned out to be a full tear. I couldn't walk for a while. I had to go get surgery and have it done. That changed everything. That injury, the process of getting back into shape and the rehabilitation, it changed everything.
So you were playing like football more professionally as a sport?
No.
So you were working as a player or just
No, just for fun. I was literally, I was still in school.
Yeah.
We just had a break and I'm like, I think winter was ending. So summer was just kind of starting. So the field, it was just a rough injury. It wasn't even, I was just running and
tore your knee.
Yes.
Got it. So how did you get to then opening a gym? When does this idea of opening a gym come into your mind as a business? When do you want to do that as a?
It didn't really start as a business. It was more of a personal training angle I was looking at it from.
Right.
So the process of getting back into shape made me more conscious about my body and how I kind of rehabilitated it. My injury was more because I was a little heavier. I was heavier on my upper body, and my lower body just couldn't handle that turn when I tried to change direction while running. And ever since then, I just was more conscious about it. I was fortunate that my medical expenses was almost free. So I had the option of exploring every version. I had acupuncture and all that stuffs. I started doing more yoga. I couldn't run. I couldn't even walk. So I just was in bed for a while. Like I was just in bed thinking about, okay, when I get better. From me that I just couldn't sit to me being in bed for like 6 months. I had a lot of time, a lot of thinking time. I started learning more about the anatomy. I signed up for Jillian Michaels. She's a trainer in the States. I got certified with her. I started being more inclusive and all that. I moved back here. My dad was doing his 70th birthday. So I just came to see family while I was recovering. I went to a gym and they didn't know enough on how to help me get better. Like, there just wasn't enough. They used to the conventional strength. I couldn't walk. I couldn't put any weight on my leg. So it was tricky. Even the doctors were it was off. I kind of, compared to the service I was used to, I felt
At that time, you were living in the States, or where were you living?
I was living, in Toronto. So it was a lot easier for me to kind of understand, like, okay, I think I know more than these guys. I know more than these guys. I knew more than almost everybody. Then I kind of went into like the fitness guys, like the trainers here. They were very good. They had passion, but because of my experience with the quality of rehabilitation I was used to, I was like, okay, maybe I can set up something for rehabilitation, something new in the market, something not everybody really had. I switched from conventional where I used to train to actually sports. I couldn't run for a while, so I could do calisthenics.
So for the ones that don't know what calisthenics is, bodyweight training.
Oh yes, yes.
I'm not sure everyone is.
Oh no, calisthenics is like a beautiful part of just upper body bars and all that fun stuff. I kept on transitioning to the healthier I got, the more I started adding on. I started adding rock cycling. I could ride a bike for a while. So in between this, I went back to Toronto. That's when I kind of changed. It's like, okay, I got a lovely job in logistics with my master's degree. It was amazing. The pay was next level good. It was good. It was so comfortable. It's what you dream of, and everything was happening. But there was something else I was more passionate about. Like in between, I was thinking, okay, fitness or logistics? Fitness or logistics? So I did logistics for a while. I set up a logistics company, kind of ran that. That kind of helped me figure out how I could work, but I kind of wasn't still as happy as I was in when it was more passion. So the opportunity came up. I was like, okay, the gyms in Toronto are so much high level. They're developed.
There's no better gyms than in Canada.
Oh, there are amazing gyms there. But I kind of looked at
like big new equipment.
Yes,
everything.
Everything's available there. But when I come back home, that service, that quality wasn't there. But we had the people, we had the passion, the opportunity was also there. But 5 years ago, there wasn't a career in fitness. There wasn't a lot of people in fitness making like $1 million a month. The banking, every other industry had kind of developed. So it was, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? So I was kind of still torn in between. One of the things that also helped me is I'm from a large family. I have a family of 10 kids, 7 sisters, well, a lot in my family. And I'm kind of the only one that's super active. It's also a reflection of Nigeria. Not a lot of people are active, but women are more, it's harder for them here to make those decisions. Because you make those decisions in your life about 6 to 7 times to seriously change your lifestyle. The more harder it is, the less likely it happens. So my commitment was people with injuries, women, like the other part that was harder to get into fitness. Let's make it more exciting. Let's make it interesting. Let's make it cool to actually enjoy fitness. Some of that with the society here, we're so busy with work, hustling, and everything else. We forget our physical.
It's not a priority.
Yes, it goes down in the order as all that fun stuff. Any average person in like 35 now, or at least female, the most exciting physical activities they get is maybe dancing outdoors and like outgoing nightlife. They do more in those 3 hours than they ever intentionally do in physical exercise. So we try to get a facility or a place that encourages them to intentionally train to lose weight or to just stay healthy and all that. When you go back to like when we're kids, inter-house sports, boys, girls, senior SS3, like in that phase, we're both active, both genders, male, female. The older we get, the female starts to reduce the level of activities, while men kind of still have it easier. You can play soccer, you can meet your guys, it's easier for men to just get in and
Stay
start
active.
running. Yeah.
So that's how you started. So, with that in mind, you wanted to create a center for women to stay fit. Was that the idea, or how did you?
Oh, not just women,
Oh,
everybody.
everyone.
But
Yeah.
we kind of intentionally look at the people, the ones with the harder barriers to getting into fitness.
Get into it.
So we heavily did a lot of circuit training, dance classes, boxing, aerobics, things that were just kind of a lot easier to get in. Then eventually change their mind to, oh, there's calisthenics, there's boxing, there's
Right.
so many variations of fitness that we just use those ones as a tools to get you to more excited.
Right. And so where was that gym? Where did you?
Oh, that's the first one, Magodo. Like we set that
Right.
gym up in Magodo. It started like as a studio, and it was just nothing but passion. A couple of trainers joined in. We just kept on pushing.
Okay. So tell me more about that. So you started rent a space, and how do you do it? So you started rent a space and started organize classes, get people to roll in there, or
No,
to
I
enroll there,
had
or
big
how did you-
dreams. We're meant to be in Lekki. Like I mentally picked it. Like we're going to be in Lekki. Or, I used to really. I moved out of town like about 13 years ago. Back then, ShopRite or Silverbird ShopRite used to be like the big places in Lagos.
Mhm.
So mentally, I'm like, yo, we're getting a big spot in ShopRite, all that fun stuff, and go from there. I go back home, everything like equipment, everything wasn't as easy as in the planning phase. So I'm like, okay, I had a 5-bedroom in Magodo where I was meant to live. So I kind of lived upstairs and just used the downstairs as the gym. So I kind of just
So
moved
you
it.
brought in the equipment from abroad, or how does that?
Oh yeah,
'Cause
remember?
that's what I noticed. Every time you go into a gym in Nigeria, the first thing I notice is that the equipment must be the biggest pain point, right? You see it's a bit older. You see it's not the main brand that I would see in the US or in Europe in gyms. So I'm always wondering, how do you, if you say, okay, I want to set up a gym in my house, where do you get the equipment from?
Like the best quality stuffs are not even made in Africa. Like that's a
Sure,
conversation
of
we'll
course,
get
yeah.
back to. So it depends on the budget. Europe has some of the best equipment. China has some of the most affordable equipment. So it's kind of easy in those ways. Because I used to own a logistics company, I leverage on my ability to kind of find deals all over the world. With technology now, the world is a little smaller and all that. I met a lot of gym owners before I made the decision. I met I've been into like at least 400 gyms everywhere, Dubai, London, England. Every city I go to, I always check out a gym. It just helps. Like and the fitness community is such a positive space that it's so welcoming. It transcends everything else, racism. Everybody just welcomes, like if we have the same goal to just train. It's just so encouraging, and that positive space kind of encourages more positivity and creativity. It helps so much.
Right.
When I was in some of my darkest times, when I was hurt so much and I couldn't walk, it was so frustrating. I met so many people that just helped me in the process. It was more of like, why are these people being so nice to me? I don't even know you guys from anywhere. Yeah, but they kind of it was more of they helped me so much. Like, you know what? Although you can't run, instead of not doing anything at all, let's keep that mental part going. Let's stay. That space helped me work with my nutrition. I got certified with Herbalife. I kind of had a couple of stuff here and there. So it was very exciting.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry, the equipment.
I was actually asking about the question, but tie that to how you then opened the gym. So you say you're living in that house, you have the bottom part.
The equipment.
How do you get the equipment to
my truck that I used to use as a logistics company.
Yeah.
I had that truck. I sold my car. I used everything to fill up that truck. I was still thinking, yo, it's not enough, man. But it was enough to start. So I emptied everything I had, put everything in the truck.
What did you start with? What was the first equipment you bought?
I got
Like a
bikes.
bench or- really?
I had a spin bike, about 10 of them fit into one truck. So I literally drove the truck to the shipping yard. I bought another car. I filled up in the trunk, dumbbells, weights. I went to a fitness store. They closed down. So I bought all the used equipment, shipped everything, and I was here. So I knew I had about 5 months to get a space. So when I got in here, by looking in everywhere, like, oh, I want to be here. And it was an industry that I was still new in. And so Magodo helped me learn the ropes, like learn on the go. I kind of started a little small, just had a receptionist and a personal trainer. So it was just three of us. All three of us were
in your house.
Yep.
So you're living upstairs, and
Yes.
okay, that's an interesting. So how did you? So how did it develop then? How do you? I think today you have two.
Yes.
So how did you get from 1 to 2, and also how do you start to fill it up? How do you get customers to come in and train in your facility?
So
Neighbors, how do you get
so
them?
the first guy I reached, so when I moved here, I just had tunnel vision. I'm like, I'm not even here to make money. I just want to actively train. My leg was getting better. I recovered a lot better. So I moved some of my equipment here for rehabilitation. So I got a nutritionist to help with my food, a cook and nutritionist. I also got a physiotherapist.
For your gym.
So it was hybrid because I lived up and the gym was down. So he kind of worked both ways. He worked for the gym and also helped out with food. I had a physiotherapist moving with me, which was kind of the same deal. He worked at the gym and helped me with recovery. My first client was the guy that helped me clear my equipment. I spoke to him like, yo, this is what I'm doing. And we talked for a while. He didn't even seem convinced. So like, you know what? Okay, come by the space. Let's just train for a minute and all that. He came by, 2 weeks go by, and he gives me a check of like $350K, and I'm like, okay, we're real now. He was the first client. Then we got a receptionist. Then we started training more people. I think at that point I was just excited to be here. I met everybody. I was like all the gyms on the mainland, on the island. I was trying to shuffle where's the best niche for me and all that. Coincidentally, the niche in Magodo kept on growing because it was a lot of I was a very exciting trainer. It was very different. It was so different that it piqued a lot of people's interest, and we just went from 1 to 20 to 40. And before
That's
equipment,
members.
yes,
People
before
that-
equipment
okay.
got in, we had a full gym. Now the problem was,
What does full mean?
I-
How many people can
close
you?
to 50, 60
50
people.
members?
Yes.
Okay. And the people in Magodo that, how do I think about the gym? Is it because sometimes you walk into a gym, and I love these gyms where you go into and it's just like it's a bit, how do I say, everyone is training hard but by themselves, sometimes headphones, but you just feel everyone is here to get bigger and fitter. That's one gym type. And then you have the second gym type where you walk in and it's really more focused around togetherness, classes, group workouts, and getting people that maybe aren't yet fit onto the right path. Where do I put yours? Is it more?
Ours is more of a community
Community
space.
kind of
We
space,
kind
yeah.
of work. We had more community. A lot of women, because it was more of a residential place. So
Right.
a lot of family, mothers. We didn't have as many younger people in the beginning. We had older people with my knee's bad, my back is bad. We heard that you guys are a little different, and it was just exciting too. We also had we started using technology right from the get-go. So we kept on doing analysis of your body, explaining just the fundamental, how it worked out. The first couple of months, we were just also learning. We're also adapting from my initial plans to, this is the style of gym we want, to, we didn't even have a location yet, but we have people already. So we kind of leveraged on that. We did a lot of group fitness and just got people moving. And
So the service that, when I hear you speaking, the service that you are providing in specifically the Magodo place, I want to talk about the second one too, but it's more, I'm coming there, maybe fitness isn't yet the priority, but you help me improve my well-being, improve my fitness. Together with maybe others in a group, I'm your instructor. That's the spirit.
Yeah, it was more of a be healthy first, and looking good was a very good side effect of that, which kind of helped us a lot.
Okay. And so how do you then go to open a second space, and where is the second space?
It's on the island. It's Abramadesa, just in front of Abramadesa.
And is it the same concept? Smaller place, bigger
Oh no,
place?
it's a lot better. It's
Bigger place.
we just really opened it officially like a month ago.
Okay.
Every other thing it took us almost 2 years to fully build it to the level we wanted it.
How do both places differ? You say it's a lot better. Is it bigger? Is it more modern
It kept on
equipment?
growing from one living room, because it literally started just from the living room to, we had to break the dining room to accommodate, to, we had to break the guest room.
On the island.
No,
Same.
in the Magodo branch.
Okay.
So we kept on expanding in Magodo till we kind of like, okay, we have it figured out. We now have a gym that caters to strength training, calisthenics, we have basketball, we have table tennis. We kind of just made it like a sports day. So you just kind of pop in there. We use something that always brings you in, either body weights training or the classes. Then we show you other ways just to keep improving and pick your interest. So we've developed from a studio style gym to a fully functional combat space.
Interesting. And so the second space is only open since a month now.
It's been open 2 years ago.
Okay.
But it opened similar to the other guy. It started from
increase it. Okay. So tell me about one of the things we just spoke about before we start the podcast is also the fitness culture. Tell me a few of in Nigeria specifically. Tell me a bit about your perspective on the priority of being fit and doing sports in Nigeria versus maybe where you lived before in Canada. Why? My observation, and I shared that before, is in Nigeria, fitness is not yet a priority. People like sport, they love football, but integrating fitness in your daily life, being fit, lifting weights, is not something that is wildly common. You must have a very different, well, maybe the same or a different perspective on it, but why is that the case and how do you change it?
Fitness in Nigeria is just getting better. Like, if anything, this is the best time fitness has ever had in the history of fitness in Nigeria. 10 years ago, they had it worse. 15 years ago, it was worse. But at this point, it's getting better. Is it as good as the States or some of the Western countries? Maybe not, but it's on a fast rise. We truly have an industry now. We're building an ecosystem of not just gyms. We have other places, other younger entrepreneurs coming into the space and also bringing in back some amazing ideas. There's a lot of athletes all over the world that are Nigerians that have been very successful. They're bringing back some of that in here. MMA is popping up here and there. There's so many different styles of fitness. There's even things around the ecosystem of fitness, the institution, the teaching, the training, and all that. There's more places here that you can get certified, and which also improves the quality of trainers around, which kind of helps everybody in the long term. So
you're seeing an improvement. You see it's more and more popular. Do you have more people coming to your gym and say, hey, I'm not fit now, but help me get there?
A lot more. Most people are even the money they kind of used to put on fitness, it's kind of improving. It's getting way better. So it's...
And why is that?
COVID.
How? Why? Because people were locked in at home, and so they then suddenly needed to move.
No, it kind of changed from... I think our marketing used to be, oh guys, please come to the gym. We used to explain so much of the benefit of the health.
So it's a health thing.
Yes.
People want to be more healthy because they were really.
COVID helped everybody stop and like reassess their priorities. That job you've been holding off for so long, they just laid you off, and you had more time to actually think about your health now, which is, and also companies are truly supporting their staff with their decisions of health and fitness and all that stuff. So it's getting better.
So let me unpack that a bit. So because that I didn't expect it. So you're saying that during COVID people were more health aware, thinking about thinking more about am I fit? What is my health level? And so now then they come to you and say, hey, look, I'm unhappy and how I look or where I am now, help me get you see an uptake after COVID in that.
Yeah, so during COVID, even the trainers had a chance to improve the level of knowledge and all that stuff. The clients too, because we are locked, everybody had to develop everybody became active. Some people were walking down the road, just that, or doing push-ups, and it increased the knowledge in the environment. So most people became more interested. Oh, these things that these guys have been saying, maybe it's actually true. A lot of people knew people that had underlying diseases that made it worse. That fitness helps in so much of those ones, like the respiratory diseases, lifestyle diseases, hypertension, high blood pressure.
I'm fully bought in. I'm just so it's always been mind-boggling that that doing sport and staying fit is not a bigger driver. So I understand that maybe weight or looks, aesthetics are not so much of a driver for everyone, but the health argument, I never understood why people are not just training just to live longer and be happier, right? But the fact that people realize, or that you're saying that during COVID people started to realize that, you know, an underlying good fitness level is shielding them from adverse health effects. That's surprising. I wouldn't have expected.
Oh, nice.
I wouldn't have expected that, you know, suddenly you have more people showing up at your doorstep saying, hey, I want to. Great. And do you see that more companies are supporting that too? So do you have
a lot more companies to kind of piggybacking of the influence of fitness? Some of them are seeming more, or they're also investing more in health. Some of them are popping up gyms in their places. They're giving the staff HMO to allow them use the gym free and just stay more healthy. So it's a good time to be in the fitness space.
Okay. So tell me a bit about the offering. You know, you said you cater maybe to people that are not yet super fit, but they want to get there in the gyms. Is that the typical kind of clients, or who are the different client pockets? Sure, you have the super gym rats.
Yes.
Go every day for 2 hours, and then you have the ones that never been to a gym and they only come once a month. Talk me through the different customer segments.
So ideally, we're set up for almost everybody, no matter what level you are. If the goal is to improve and get better, we have the resources to help you. So that varies from men, women, kids, even though we have kids over 16 that come to the gym to start developing more active lifestyle. We have the professional athletes who wants to train at an elite level. We have things to support them too.
What kind of athletes do you have there? Like soccer players? Or?
We had soccer players come in. We had like athletes like just in the off season they'll come back home to train. A few of them pop in here. There's people aspiring to be soccer players that come in to train with us and all that. There's also professional dancers. Just a variation of different people.
Okay, interesting. And so, do you what do you? I mean, now you're a businessman. You know, you're running a business. But where do you spend most of your time? Do you still go to the gym and do like private sessions with your customers, or lead classes, or?
I wish. That's the most exciting part of my life. Yeah. I really like the outdoors part where I'm training and all that conversation. But I don't have that time anymore. So as early as possible, I try to wake up and just sneak in my workout. And because it's a lot trickier training at my facilities, there's so many of my clients that, hey, Razi, how you doing? Or they just want to say hello, and sometimes it just distracts me from actually getting 30 minutes in and kind of just going back to work, because I also have a full-time job that I have people that we work together and make better decisions for the company. Right.
Okay. And do you plan to open a third gym or fourth gym? Tell me, if you take a step back, so I understand you have 2 gyms now, you know, you're exciting more and more people. It's becoming a trend, a wave. People are more interested in the fitness industry. Yes. But what's the 10-year vision? And, you know, you want more gyms across Nigeria outside of Lagos? How do you think about the future?
10 years. We've been working.
Maybe do 5. Maybe 5.
5 years, maybe a couple of more locations, at least maybe under 10 locations in 5 years. We're really working about at least maybe 2 in the next 12 months.
Okay.
Let's see how that goes. And we also want to start exploring other opportunities of just being accessible to everybody. So if it means just help, we also have a product. We have a fitness tracker that we made during COVID. We with help for a team in Canada and in China. We're able to develop a fitness tracker.
Like a heart rate tracker? Or?
Perfect, yes.
Like, you know, we're using this here is an Aura ring. I'm sure you've seen it, which tracks your heart rate during sleep. But you have a band, or what kind of?
We have a chest strap. So this uses EKG technology, like almost the same you use in the hospital to check your heart rate.
Yeah.
We combine that with our app, and we interpret everything fitness related. Boxing, dance, yoga. It's waterproof. It has GPS. It has a couple of stuff that real time will help you monitor the quality of workouts. And because we also look at this from a medical perspective, we're looking at your heart. It's the engine. If your heart is healthy, it helps you push more oxygenated blood to your organ, to your muscles, which helps improve performance. So the first thing we're looking at is, like, as we're talking now, your heart shouldn't be crazy. It shouldn't be working in anything more than 100 beats per minute. If we put the tracker on you now, I could real time look at how much you're improving and all that.
Okay, interesting. So you're adding that it's like a service that you offer to the customers. So
Oh yeah, I've been doing it for a while.
and do you have like an app? So you're basically adding another business line next to the physical gym. You're adding.
Yeah. So not just are we doing physical gyms, we're adding fitness products. So one of them is the tracker, fitness accessories here and
How
there.
about supplements?
Supplements. The thing about supplements is I don't think we have the resources to do the kind of research on the supplement I like. But we are not doing our in-house supplement, but we're looking into just bringing very reputable brands and just servicing existing brands. Yes.
It's another major frustration I've always had with the Nigerian fitness market is just, when you hear getting good supplements, maybe proteins, creatine, whatever kind of supplements you want, it's very difficult to find them. I mean, if you do, you need to order them online. You're not sure also what you get there, so it's good to hear that. But why don't you produce them here?
There's a lot of younger people in the fitness space now, so it's kind of reflecting the offers that we have. We have yoga instructors killing it. We have movement coaches. There's so much in the industry now, so it's exciting.
So you get more diversity and what's happening. Okay, let's talk a bit about obviously we have a bias here. We're interested in payments, and I'm sure you're interested in getting paid. We're interested in making sure you get paid. Tell us, how do customers pay you?
Typically, when we started, we just accepted everything.
Okay, so what's the
cash, POS, bank transfers, everything. Later we started growing, we started adapting. It was cleaner on our finances to just have everything digitally. So most of our membership at the gym just goes through direct debits. That's a lot easier.
So using our colleagues from Paystack, when I'm coming to your gym, you want to sign me up in a monthly subscription?
Yes.
I connect my debit card and then you debit me monthly every month the same day.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. And do you have a lot of drop-ins? People just come for a day or a week or so?
Yes. You have shorter, like a day, just pop in, test the gym out.
Day pass.
Yes.
Okay, and that's what you would use our terminal for example, like getting paid for a card.
No, everything, all membership kind of goes through direct debit.
Okay.
Even if it just goes through the cards. Where we use you guys for is more of the service as the shops. If you're buying supplements, if you're buying accessories, if you're buying water, like most of the recycled, the stuff that goes on more.
Right. So the non-reoccurring purchases within the ship, water. Do you have a restaurant within, or like a small food place in the?
Yeah, we have a small mini
like snack bar kind of.
Yes.
Right. And is it interesting? Because I was always wondering. So I'm wondering two things about the economics of a gym. You're the perfect person to translate. First, I'm wondering, is it true that you have a lot of people subscribing and then like their subscription is basically fading away? So you go in the gym, say, now I'm gonna be an Arnold Schwarzenegger type super bodybuilder, and then people just don't have the perseverance to stay in longer, or how do you? But they keep on being subscribed, or how do you see that? Do people always follow through the goals, or
so most of them we try to keep them as active as possible. So
how do you do that?
We have a system. If you don't pop in for 2 weeks, someone starts to check up on you,
like
call you. Yes, like manually call you or emails like, hey, what's going on? Is there any way we could help? We switch up our classes so many times. We bring in different people to just play around with it and all that.
I'm sure you get to hear a lot of interesting stories when you start to call the people after 2 weeks and why they can't come.
They're tired. A lot of it, 90% of
why don't they come?
Time. Work time.
So what do you tell them if they say I don't have time?
You have to make time. Everybody has the same amount of time. It's more of a priority thing. If we're asking you to use 4% of 1 day twice a week, so just basically 8 hours a week. So it's more of us just changing the mentality. It's not a matter of you jumping here and you're not going to be good overnight. It's going to take a while, but in the first 3 months, we'll make it exciting for you. We'll make it doable, and we talk you through the process. So
how do you, just because, I'm thinking about when I build my fitness routine, or when I look at friends that are not fit and when they're building this fitness routine, it's very important, my experience, to have a driver, maybe an aesthetic driver, I want to be big or fit or so, or a health driver, I want to be more healthy. The people that you see that are coming into a gym that have no health routine at all, so they're coming in never really, they would walk in and say, I hate running, I don't want to have anything to do with it, to becoming the gym rat.
So we kind of help them
Why
with that.
why do they what is their driver?
We kind of help them with that. So when they come in and be like, oh, I want to come in every day, we kind of recommend to you that if you show up every day, you come up the first 10 days, your body's going to be sore and you might never show up again.
Sure, again.
It's better to come in twice a week. Just give us twice a week, 1 hour every week. So even start with a group class. Start with something you like, work on your strengths, and we'll keep improving your weaknesses. The gym is so cool that, oh, they see, oh, what's this? And it's more of if you have good guidance, good support system, good community. Like now that fitness is so diverse, we have more of our clients even helping new members that, hey, come in, don't worry, I started like you. We have so much testimonials. All that helps too.
Okay. Let's talk a bit about, so a lot of us still I want to cover because we started to talk about payments, but I think we finished that. But one other thing that I want to talk to you about is nutrition.
Okay.
Right. So one of what my observation is, and is that it's in Nigeria, I feel it's a two-sided problem. At first, yes, it's getting better, but the fitness culture is not yet where it should be. But then also you have the nutrition part where, nowadays if you go to another country, let's say you go to Europe, everyone's talking about clean nutrition. You have all kind of diets and it's becoming like a thing to eat well. And I think in Nigeria that is not yet so much the case. How do you talk to your clients about nutrition? Don't drink, I don't know, Coke, but drink water. Like I'm sure it's a lot of to unpack here, people that show up and have no clue of what to eat and what to drink and what not to drink.
So it gets better a lot too, because in-house we all at the gym, we don't have full-time nutritionists. A lot of the trainers are certified trainers. We don't really have full-time nutritionists that are just nutritionists. A lot of the trainers, by the way, they've gone through a nutrition course. They give nutrition recommendations. It just gives you clear guidelines like, okay, you know what, if it's a caloric deficit, these are good things to consider. These are things to consider taking out of your diet. And we have a general rule I just tell everybody. If it's not something you can do over 6 months, over a year, it's more of consistency over intensity. So it's not how hard you do it at the beginning. Are you going to do this for a while? So we try to encourage things that is more lifestyle based. So don't take the elevator as much as possible. Try to go for a walk here and there.
Easy things to remember.
Yes.
And in nutrition, what do you tell someone that walks through the door and then tells you he wants to go, I don't know, to KFC after or so? Like how do you change the mindset of people around what to eat and what not to eat?
So basically, even if you wanted to get the most disciplined diet, and I told you all about it, it's not that easy to actually, demotion is not as easy as possible. So what I recommend is, what are those things that you really like? If it's chicken, I'm like, okay, instead of KFC, maybe there's healthier versions. That's kind of what I tell most people. Don't get it out of diet, switch the method. If you really like rice, there's different variations of rice that you could play around with. You can reduce the portion, you can add more vegetables. You can also have it, like if you really like rice, have it early, have an early lunch and stay active. Also add fruits and vegetables to your diet to help stuff like that.
And do you for me, the best nutritional advice I've received early on is only eat things that either grow somewhere or live. So, and it's so simple, but it's, which basically leads you not to eat anything processed, right? So, because that's my opinion is we eat so much stuff that's processed, and that's usually where that is either not healthy, full of sugar, not good for you, right? Is it that kind of, do you tell that to your customers sometimes? What do they think?
So ideally, anything processed, soda and stuff like that, you can intentionally cut it off. They slow down a lot of things. They slow down your metabolism and stuff. You can't have it all. So it's either, if you're trying to lose weight, you could do it faster if you make healthier choices. So we kind of just encourage them to do stuff like that. Every once in a while, we do seminars where we talk to the client here and there. We bring in proper nutritionists to kind of have these conversations with them.
Okay, and how do you think the reception is? Do people just have you seen like transformational?
Oh, it's getting better because
journeys in your gym?
Getting better because what we do is we do our part with the fitness. We make it exciting, and we start convincing you that you're doing all this good stuff, but you could undo all of it with something like this. So instead of you having this, get a healthier version. Introduce kale, potassium, all that stuff into your diet. And
Let's talk a bit about sort of challenges. I want to hear what is hard of running a gym. What keeps you up at night, or what is the we talked about FX, importing the equipment. That seems to be a bit of a challenge, but tell us, how do you, when you think about the business, what's difficult?
Some of there's different levels to it. Some of it's just the powers and the environment. Sometimes it's a little tricky.
So what is it? Electricity, for example?
Electricity is one of our biggest expenses.
And it's increasing over time, or?
Yes. I think running season is amazing now, but over a year, it's a nightmare. Also, the ability to get equipment. It's
just two questions. So on electricity, your challenge is that the price is increasing and you can't change the price of memberships all the time.
Yes.
So it basically impacts your margin. That is the challenge there. Okay. So you're saying on equipment?
Oh yeah, equipment. We always have to keep bringing in stuff. They're so expensive. The maintenance part of it. It's not even every equipment you can actually get the right technician to come in. So that's a little tricky too. Like there's some equipment you can't just replace like this. They're so pricey and all that fun stuff. In COVID, we've been able to kind of be very strategic with how we get in equipment and all that, and just plan a lot better. It helps.
What is the price implication of free weights versus machines? I'm always thinking that free weights might be much easier to maintain, and they are less complex to function. So why even have machines in the gym and not only free weights?
So a lot of it, that's what I'm thinking. The choice of equipment we're starting to use a lot of free weights and just things with less mechanics. Also, it's easier to maintain and they last way longer. It also really makes you stronger doing the motions rather than the assisted, but we can't eliminate some of that treadmill. We still have manual treadmills here and there. But some people are so used to a certain type of equipment that we use them as introductory just to have them come in and over time change their mind out how we have better equipment. So a lot of the electronic equipment, in the field, we're focusing on reducing some of those and just getting better equipment that last longer with less maintenance.
Right. And there's always this treadmill miracle. I love running. I just did a marathon in March, and I made it a goal never to train on a treadmill. I just hate it. I love running outside, but treadmills it's just boring. You don't move. It's terrible. Why don't you get people just to run outside? In Magodo, I guess if your house is in the state, you can easily just do laps. Or is it an easier, lower mental barrier for someone to jump on a treadmill versus running?
So we encourage you being active more. So that's one of the reasons we got the tracker. It also has GPS and encourages running. We have 2 running clubs in Magodo and Abramadesa. It's free for everybody. We just set up in front of the gym, do a little warm up, and just running is the easiest way to start fitness. Gets your heart pumping. It's exciting. It's easy you just need shoes and you're out.
Interesting. Okay. So we said equipment, electricity. Anything else that's hard or that has made your life hard in the last couple of years?
Getting quality trainers in the gym. Okay. And kind of supporting them financially too, because a lot of people in the industry used to be, they worked in this industry, but they're coming from passion. They spend about 8 years learning something else, and they just switch to fitness. We don't have enough education behind that. Our universities here don't offer kinesiology, and it's not as detailed as what we need. So we have a supply problem. It's not like the trainers are not good. There's just not enough institutions to help them with the knowledge gap. If we keep comparing trainers here to the trainers abroad, there's a lot of education that goes into those trainers. There's a lot of structure. Even the universities offer a lot of courses that supports them. There's also jobs. There's a lot of opportunities for you to work in. Mostly here, your options are gyms.
So it's hard to find the right people to work in the gym. It's hard to find the right stuff. Yes. Okay, it's a classic problem of anyone running a business. It's hard to find the right people and to maintain them. So how long have you been doing this business now?
It's about 5 years now.
Okay. And the 5 years vision, as you mentioned, is open more gyms and just expand the empire. Did you learn some lessons? If anyone here that's a fitness enthusiast, maybe a young person says, okay, I want to I want to run a gym. I want to start the new Gold's Gym of Nigeria, or like any big, big vision. What do you tell them? Like, what did you learn? What matters? What's the lessons?
Oh, it's the planning part of it. Like you really have to. It's not something you just, I'm passionate about fitness. There's a business element to it. Even as the decision making of like the structure of the company, translating your own goals, your dreams to even the front desk, understanding how she plays a part in that role. Some of that is coming through experience. I wish I had done a great job at the beginning of just sitting, planning, but we did a good job always evaluating where we were, where we want to be, and always constantly coming back to train. Over the couple of years, we've grown from a workforce of about 5 to about 45 now.
Oh, wow.
So
and how many of them are like back office versus in the gym, sort of like?
Oh, it's 1/3. It's like, so we're kind of split into 3 brands. Like that number is split into 3. The back end is like, it's like,
that's the accountants, finance people, HR.
It's about 10 of them.
Okay.
And we're kind of still growing to support us growing staffs.
Okay. And then 1/3 accountants, back office.
Yeah.
1/3. What's the?
So we support staffs like the personal, the front desk, the sales team.
Yeah.
Then it's also a lot of personal trainers. Then so that's basically how we split.
Right. And the personal trainers actually work for you. They're not freelancing and sort of working in the gym, but also bringing their own clients. It's really they work for.
It's kind of like a hybrid. They're almost independent contractors working with the gym, but with with guidelines.
Okay.
So we encourage them to do their thing. Well, like if our goals are in line with the way we're set up, if our trainers are successful, we're successful. So we kind of support them with everything we can.
Right. So they bring you business, you bring them business. Okay. And how do you think about learning? Because when you wake up in the morning, you say I want to run a gym. You said you visited different countries, Dubai, London, US, to meet entrepreneurs in the gym industry. Is that the way you educate yourself, or how do you learn about being a better gym owner and a business person? How do you improve?
So I met a guy in Montreal, Goodman, that's his name. He owned a gym there. It was an amazing gym. It was kind of like a hybrid of everything I wanted the gym to be: sports, nutrition. It was very good. So in my interaction with him, I think it was an event a while ago. We spoke. He invited me to the gym. He gave me a tour. He linked me up with his vendors. We spoke briefly about it. Even throughout the years, even in COVID, we kept on talking back and forth, and it's kind of inspired me to keep improving and all that.
So you ask him, he's giving you day-to-day advice. He helps you to grow. Okay. So do you still go to like conventions, conferences in the fitness industry to help educate yourself, or do you do it online, or?
So we partnered with IREP to continuously educate all our staff.
Okay.
Everybody has first aid, CPR, just the basics. We also have a HR team that is continuously improving the whole branch, like the whole company with continuous training, all that stuff. So
okay. Did you see the Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary on Netflix?
Oh, yes.
Great thing. I was just about to say, anything you wanna. It's a very fascinating fitness journey.
Yes.
Well, look, thanks for coming. I love it. I hope there's more entrepreneurs like you in Nigeria.
Thank you. Also, we just started doing business with Payforce. It's been ridiculously good. The customer care, the fact that we always have someone to talk to whenever we have challenges. A lot of times we struggle with payments. Like our clients are here to want to buy this, and Pierce isn't working. It's been something we struggled with for a while. But with Payforce, it's a lot easier. Like it's in minutes, someone is on the phone with us, talking us through it. And the ability for you guys to pay us back almost the same day within hours, it helps us in our accounting and all that. It just makes it easier in the system.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, and the rates are it's a lot. So compared to what we had.
What did you have?
I think 1.5% or something.
So you came from a bank?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm happy. We try to make your life easier. We always say, the mission is to make our merchants richer.
Oh, it's a lot easier. It's more flexible.
Money.
Thank you so much.
And happy to hear that. And thanks for coming, Lanre. Really appreciate the conversation. Maybe to round off, if anyone of the people here listening wants to find you, how do I find you? How do I get to be part of your fitness journey?
Our Instagram is IAmFit.ng. That's the same with our website. And my personal Instagram is train with Razzie, all one word, Razzie.
All right. Great. So we heard it. IAmFit and train with Razzie. Thanks, Lanre, for your time.
Thank you so much for taking time. Hopefully we'll see you at the gym.
Thank you.
Very soon.
So thanks everyone for listening to this inspiring conversation with Mr. Lanre. Remember, if you want to listen to the previous podcast, you just follow the links below. And until then, stay inspired and keep on doing business.